Hello, boys and girls. I am so excited to be here to read with you today. We are going to be reading today an autobiography. Now, who knows what an autobiography is? Yes, that's right. Some of you know what that is. It is a story that someone writes about themselves. And today I am going to read this book. It's called Ruby Bridges Goes to School. And this little girl wrote her story about herself when she was all grown up. She wrote about her story when she was a little girl. And it's a very important story. It's an important part of Black history, and it's called Ruby Bridges Goes to School. So let's read. A long time ago, some people thought that black people and white people should not be friends. In some places, black people were not allowed to live in the same neighborhoods as white people. In some places, black people were not allowed to eat in the same restaurants as white people. And in some places, black children and white children could not go to the same schools like we do today. This is called segregation. The United States government said segregation is wrong. People should live where they want. People should eat where they want. Children should go to school where they want. My name is Ruby Bridges. In 1960, I went to kindergarten in a school for black children. I liked my school, I liked my teacher, and I liked my friends. But there was a school for white children, even closer to my house than the school for black children. It was the William Frantz Elementary School. The government said Ruby Bridges should be allowed to go to William Frantz School. That's her school. In 1961, I was in first grade. My mother took me to the Frantz School. Marshals came with us to make sure that we were safe. Look at Ruby going to school on her first day of first grade. Some people did not want a black child to go to the white school. They stood near the school. They yelled at me to go away. Parents took their children out of school, and I was alone with my teacher, Mrs. Henry. I loved Mrs. Henry, and Mrs. Henry loved me. I was a very good student. I learned math, I learned how to read, but I wish the other children would come back. Months and months passed, and then one day, children began to come to school. At last, I had friends to play with. I was very, very happy. Many people have read about me in newspapers and books. A famous writer, John Steinbeck, wrote about me. He wrote that I was very brave. A First Lady, Eleanor Roosevelt, she wrote a letter to me. The letter told me that I was a good American. Norman Rockwell was an artist who painted a picture of me. The painting has become very famous. Now I'm grown up. I'm married, I have children, and one day Mrs. Henry and I were both asked to be on a TV show. That was the first time we had seen each other in many years, and now we talk to each other often. Now black children and white children go to the same schools. I like to visit schools. I tell my story to children. I tell children that black people and white people can be friends. And this is Ruby Bridges all grown up as an adult. And most important, I tell children to be kind to each other. I think her story is very important because of her, things changed back then. Because of her and her family and all the people that fought for her, things changed. And now at our school, we have black children and white children and Hispanic children, and we all go to school together, and we're all friends. And most importantly, like she said on the very last page, it is important that we are kind to each other. And it doesn't matter what color skin the person has. We always want to be kind, we want to listen, and we want to support each other. So I am going to leave you with this picture so you remember the name of the book, Ruby Bridges Goes to School. It's written for level 2 readers. So you could pick this book up on Scholastic, and I will be back to read another story with you in a few days. Have a great day, everyone.